The Twitter timeline has been on fire the last few hours with rumors flying left and right, but here we get our first confirmation from OpTic themselves that they have dropped Kenny from the starting roster. Kenny coming out and responding to this, basically saying that he needs to get back to where he wants mentally and that this isn't the end. There's been rumors of Kenny potentially retiring, or speculation, people guessing, like if Kenny was to get dropped, would he retire? Would he continue to playing? Right here, directly from the source himself, he's saying this is not the end, and hopefully Kenny comes back stronger than ever. And I mean, it's no surprise Kenny is getting dropped from this OpTic roster, right? He has been statistically the worst player in the league, maybe bar a couple Falcons players, and obviously underperforming this stage, going 1-6, only getting one win versus LAG, who's one of the two bottom teams, and coming in with the 10th seed losers bracket at their home major down here in Allen, Texas this week. But who's replacing Kenny on the roster? Well, here from CDL Intel, as well as Ronnie and Jacob Hale and pretty much every, news reporter in the CDL scene that you probably know, it looks like it's going to be Skyz coming in to replace Kenny in the roster. And this has not been officially confirmed by OpTic, or maybe it has been after I post this or at some point in the near future. I could even be tweeted about right now while I'm talking about this, but Kenny is going to be dropped. Skyz is going to be coming in for the team to play with Dashy, Shotzi, and Pred. Now, Skyz coming into the starting roster has had people all over the place, right? I see OpTic fans that like it. I see OpTic fans that don't like it. So you let me know what you think about this in the comments. But, I mean, this is a stage 1 card, right? Obviously, LAG has been super buns, right? Like they have not been good. So, your individual player stats are probably not going to look good on a bad team. And some people are worried about the pacing with Skyz and Dashy, right? Because Skyz and Dashy both can play a bit of a slower AR role. One of them is going to have to speed up. Probably both of them are going to have to speed up in the, with the pace of Black Ops 6 if OpTic wants to be a successful team. I will say for OpTic, their SND should get better here with Skyz. Skyz, even though these stats might not look like anything special, is a really good search and destroy player. He's an SND 8s grinder, and this guy is going to bring, him and Dashy were the two iciest players last year, right? When you look at the clutch numbers, so a lot of ice going to be on OpTic now, at least in search and destroy, which is a good thing. And it doesn't look like the roster mania is going to stop just yet. I mean, this is the tweet that I put out a couple hours ago. I got this message in my DMs. I originally tweeted this out where I had both of these blocked because obviously Kenny had not been announced yet, but at least the source that I have that's DMing me these things on Twitter, shout out to this person, is right now. They're 1 for 2 so far, potentially going to be 2 for 2. It's looking like, another team in the league is going to potentially be blowing it up before Major 2 or maybe after Major 2, depending on how they perform. So I would expect more things to come here in Roster Mania. Here's an interesting screenshot from Twitter that I just wanted to touch on. I saw this on the Reddit. Radiation, shout out to my guy Radiation, replied to this tweet from Money Hill Stats saying, this happened after the LAT slammage. You could see Hex get on the phone and Skyz immediately get off his watch party with the game still going on. And Ronnie, aka CDL Scrim Intel, if you don't know who that is, retweeted this. And Ronnie, if you don't know who that is one of the most reliable leakers, reporters, whatever you want to call him when it comes to competitive COD and obviously with roster mania, things like that. So it looks like at least this was in the works, probably during or right after the LAT series. At the end of the day, though, it's hard to exactly say because Skyz was under contract with LAG. He originally said his contract wasn't going to be up for like a month and a half. And then obviously, even coming into this weekend, if they wanted to drop Kenny for Skyz, maybe they couldn't do it just yet because of contract things. So potentially, Skyz coming in for Kenny was something already pre-planned before this weekend, before the LAT and LAG series, and just wasn't happening yet because of the LAG contract. And there's a lot of people on Twitter, specifically OpTic fans. I just pulled up this guy Chris's tweet here. Shout out to him. This is the first one I found. Basically, like, what's up with the timing of this, right? Like, right before the major. Kind of crazy to do Kenny like that. I think at the end of the day, OpTic probably knows, like, we're not going to really perform well at the major unless we play, like, Falcons or LAG, which they're not going to. They're going to play the loser of FAZE and Rocker in losers round 1. Then also, like I said, this probably was somewhat in the works at some point throughout this weekend or the last week. And it was just contracts, situations and obligations they had to sort out with LAG and with Skyz. So you could see it in the face cams, right? Even after they beat LAG, Kismet, or not Kismet, what am I talking about, Kismet? Kenny didn't really look all that excited. He didn't really look any rejuvenated after the dub like the rest of the players were. So feel like he might have known, but that's just my own personal speculation. That I don't have any sources on Kenny knowing this previously. But I mean, you let me know what you think about OpTic dropping Kenny for Skyz. Like I said, I think there's going to be more moves coming in the near future, right? At least for one other team based on the sources that I have, which may or may not be right. They got one right so far, so we'll see. But kind of not surprised that this happened. I'm a little surprised that it's like right before the major, but like I said, with contracts and things like that, maybe that's just how it had to work out. I really feel for Kenny. He's one of my favorite players of all time. I mean, obviously people know I'm a Thieves fan. Kenny's done so many great things for the organization, and just watching him play for the Thieves, win for the Thieves, the content, everything. He is one of my all-time favorite players. So I hope he lands on his feet, keeps his head up, gets right mentally, and comes back frying when whatever his next team is or his next opportunity is, whether it's in BO6 or it's maybe next year. And Black Ops 7, I guess, is the rumored game for this coming year. So let me know what you guys think about all this. Sub to the channel, turn on noties if you want to keep up to date with any of the news, because I will make further videos. With all that being said, hopefully I'll see y'all in the next one.